To the channel. I didn't realize I hit live yet. I thought I did. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. As always, like this video, share it. Do what you gotta do, guys. You can also follow me on TikTok. Description down below. If you don't have it. I'm in my car. Yes, that is a tree back there. Don't mind that. That is stuff. We're getting rid of it. But we are here to talk about some home truths about life and about what to expect as we get older. This has actually been something that's been on my mind lately for the last maybe couple weeks, and I meant to speak on it before, but obviously with the events about Trump and the election going on, been a lot of stuff going on. So I chose to focus on other stuff. But we're here now, right? So basically, how I thought about this was, you know, a lot of people, like, let's say parents with kids, right? Let's say your kids are between the ages of 15 and 17, right? You have a lot to think about. Now, I don't have kids myself, so I can't speak directly to what a parent would or should do. I would never do that. However, I do have some experience, not only in that process, because I've obviously grown, but living with, family, seeing friends who, have kids and their development as well as young parents. And what I've noticed is that that takes a lot of adjustment, right? Like as a parent, think about it. Now, mind you, I don't have kids. So for those of you who have kids, whoever listens to this, you can comment down below on your opinion. But I honestly think that your job as a parent not only is to keep your child safe, is to keep them educated, and it's also to keep them well-rounded, right? Don't just focus on one thing. Um, if I'm ever blessed to have kids one day, then I will teach them that same value, you know, hone in on whatever skills they have growing up, teach them that there's more to life than just one thing, and then at the end of the day, have them make their choices themselves, but then also teach them to live with those results as well. Help them understand that every mistake isn't the end of the world, it's just another path in the way, right? But the title is called Life Adjustment, and basically that is to talk about the fact that, well, when you get older, you get more responsibility, right? So I purposely titled it that, and I also put the ages in the description the way I did, because there is sort of a bracket to it. When you get to about 16, 17, down to 18, you start to realize that, okay, there's more to life than what I was living before. Now, granted, you're in school, you might have a job. And if anybody out there whose parents are listening to this, if you are the parent of a 16 to 18-year-old, I will tell you right now, set them up for success. Financially, set them up for success. Educationally, all that. Because at the end of the day, they're going to shape their lives based on your lessons and what you teach them, or what they teach themselves through their own actions. And I can say safely that 9 times out of 10, if a child growing up, especially during those ages, if they have a stable household and they have a stable foundation, 9 times out of 10 they'll make the right choices. It's when you don't have that stable foundation. It's when you don't have that stable household with two parents, or with people who maybe you don't know personally, but it's like, look, they raised me since I was little. But if you don't have responsible structure below you, you're not going to do very well. Now, I say that to say that when a child is growing up, right, when they're around that age, 16 to before they turn 18, that is a very precious time. That is a very, very, very precious time in a child in a child's life, because they're at that age where they want to be independent, but they don't know how to, or they know how to be independent, but they're still reliant on you. They're still reliant on you as a parent. They're still reliant on you as the supervision, whoever it is, right? And at the end of the day, they're relying on all that to help shape them. You know, but at the end of the day, and I know I keep saying this, I feel like people, or parents, I should say, and again, this isn't all parents. This is just observations, like especially on social media. Social media, you'll see it all the time, where you have parents who have their kids act grown when they're not grown yet. They're not, you know. Welcome. What's up, Tigger? Yo, be good with someone left. I don't know. I guess if people drop on and off, hey, that's fine. The message is for people who want to stay, but I appreciate it. You know. But anyway, getting back to the point, because I don't want to belabor this too long. That age range between 16 and 17, going on 18, as a parent, and again, I don't have kids, but that age is precious because that is sort of your last chance to really instill in them whatever values you have and you want to share with them. And whether or not they take your advice or not, it's on them. It's not on you. And I feel like most parents think that it's on them. I think as long as you do what you got to do from the time they were little until they reach that age, if you did your job, hey, that's on them. That's on them. That doesn't mean you abandon it. That doesn't mean that you tell them, I'm not helping you, I'm not giving you advice. It doesn't mean that. It just means I've done all I can for you. You know? I've done all I can for you. At the end of the day, I can only take you so far. You know? Bro, answer. What are you talking about? So, now we've reached the age of 18. Now we're off to college. Maybe you have a job. Or maybe you, I don't know, start your own practice, your own business. Whatever you want to do, right? But now you're 18. So now you graduated. Now you're off on your own. And I can speak to this too, because when I turned 18, it was either learn a trade, military, or find a job. Because for me, college was not what I thought I would do at all. And it wasn't even about the grades. It was more just like I just didn't see it for me. I still don't. I still don't. And I've taken classes, but I didn't see myself doing college. Right? So I made my decision to join the military, and I did. And my dad at the time, he was saying, like, are you sure you want to do this? And I told him, to be honest, it's the only option I got right now. And I got to make the best out of what I made, out of the choices I made. And he said, okay. And he supported me. Now, the reason I bring that up is because him as the parent had to realize that I just made that decision. That's a huge, huge, huge decision to make. Right? Going into the military. That's, like, you don't just do that. But he saw that and said, okay. Being a former military member himself, he said, okay, you know what? I can see him doing that, and he'll do well. But this isn't about me, though. The reason I'm saying this is because what's good? I'm alright. Thank you for joining. I lost my train of thought. Anyway, the reason I bring that up is because I feel like people, like, when you're that age at 18 and you're like, all right, I'm going to make something of myself, no matter what it is. Whether you go into business, the military, whether you become an athlete, whether you do anything in life, right? You set your foundation for yourself at that point. Because now you're no longer a dependent of your parents, technically. Gaming with Adrian. Bronny or LeBron, what do you mean? Alright, Sickle Man, I appreciate you joining. You should definitely subscribe. Yeah, at that age, you set your own foundation at that age. And at the end of the day, people are gonna always try to tear you down. They're gonna try. But you have to be strong enough mentally to go, you know what, I'm not gonna let them do that to me. I'm not gonna let them. Because it's not their life. This is my life. And as somebody who's let people destroy, quote unquote, destroy their life or whatever, or let people, tell me right from wrong or what they got to do. I realized early on that's what people do in life. And at the end of the day, I feel like people, they just don't want you to be happy sometimes. They don't want you to be happy. And it's a shame, really, when you think about it, but that's life. And you learn that as you get older. So, like, I've mentored a few people, right? And most times when I mentor people, excuse me, most times when I mentor people, um, I like to do the ages between 18 and 25, right? And a lot of times they'll ask like, simple life advice too, but like stuff like budgeting, stuff like anything financial or educational. I feel like those two things got to be like at the top tier of any sort of mentorship, whether that's in school with a guidance counselor or any sort of counselor, a financial rep, whoever, doesn't matter. I think that should be taught in schools. I think that should be taught outside of schools. Any sort of curriculum for colleges should have that, and I think most do. But that age between 18 and 24, 25, that's the sweet age of like, yo, like, I gotta get my foundation for myself started because I already have the foundation of my parents when I was born until I graduated. I now have to use that and build on top of that. So now you're doing this. It's a stepping stone. So now you're doing that. As opposed to what most people do, and I can admit this for myself, most people, they start here and they don't know how to go up. They just stay here. They might go here, but they don't know how to shoot up and get to the up here. And that takes time. That takes mentorship. That takes guidance. That takes learning lessons, good and bad. That takes making mistakes. And some people don't know how to do that. Some people can't live with a mistake. I know people who like if they make the smallest error, it doesn't matter what it is, they freak out and like say, "Oh, the world's ending. This is that and everything." And it's like, hold on, we're not there yet. We didn't even get to the root of the issue. We just found out you made a mistake. But when you're that age, and I'm not saying it only happens to ages or young people ages 18 to 22. Oh, sorry, 18 to 25. But what I am saying is that time is your impression because now whatever you see out in the world that you didn't see before, you're gonna think is real. Or you're gonna think, oh yeah, that's what I got to do, and you don't, or you do. Doesn't matter. But what I can tell you from experience is you'll know right from wrong. You'll know, all right, I can't just go on what people tell me. I got to experience this for myself. I have to, good or bad. Whether it's a bad choice, whether it's a financial error. Like I remember there was so many times I bought things that I wasn't supposed to buy when I was like 18. And like when I was 21, 22, it was like, oh shit. Like I should not have bought that. you know? I can remember getting my bonus from the military. That thing was like 9 grand. Well, it was 10, but tax it. That thing was like it was like 8, 9 grand. Let me tell you something. I blew through all that. And I was 19 when I got it. Like, do you have any idea what I would do right now if I had that much money? Do you have any idea? The amount of stuff I would get for myself, but like responsible, right? I would get a new car because right now the car I'm in right now, this shit's broken. I have a '06 Volkswagen. This is a piece of shit. But I have it. I can say that. I can say I have the car. Most people can't. But to get back on topic, because I know I'm kind of veering off topic here. The whole point is when you're that age between 18 and 25 is when you need the most mentorship by people who are responsible. Because when you get to ages 26 to 29, this is where I'm at. I am 29 years old. I know I don't look it. No, but for real, when you get to that age is when you have to start implementing the lessons and the teachings that you got and that you learned. A lot of people don't do that. A lot of people, they'll just, they'll kind of just take whatever lessons they've learned and keep it moving. But you always have to keep moving. You always have to keep grinding because if not, you're gonna fall behind. And if you keep falling behind, you're not gonna know like, all right, I gotta do this. I gotta do this. But there's so much you have to do when you get to that age. Because now you're being responsible. Now you're past, oh, he's just a kid. Like, no, he's not. He's a grown ass man. He's a grown ass man. That man is 25. That man is 28. That man is pushing 30. Like he's supposed to, not supposed to, but that's what they're told. You're told at 25, you should have your own place. You should have your own car. You should have your own life together. Your own business, your own life. Right? At 26, 27, it's, Do you have a girlfriend? Do you have a wife? Do you like married? Do you have kids? Like all these pressures, like these indoctrinated pressures that people have, and it's bullshit. I'm 29. I don't have kids. I'm not gonna have kids until I'm in my 30s. You know why? Because I always told myself I would never bring a child in this world if I'm not financially secure, if I'm not mentally secure. Do I think I would love that child? Absolutely. I have no doubt in my mind I would love that child no matter what. I would give that child the best life I could give it. But if it's not enough, why would I bring a child into this world? And the amount of times that I've been pressured, the amount of times I've been told, oh, what are you doing? You're wasting your time. Blah, blah, blah. Like, sorry. It's all bullshit. I can remember specifically one of my own friends at work. Not gonna say his name, but he told me, he was like, yo, like, why don't you have kids yet? Mind you, this was like 2, 3 years ago. So I was like 20, I was 26. Yeah, I was 26. He goes, yo, bro, how come you don't have kids yet? Like, what's going on? Mind you, he's like 37. I'm like, because I don't want them. He goes, what do you mean? You don't want kids? I'm like, no. Why would I want kids when I'm not able to pay my rent right now? Like, why would I do that? He goes, yeah, but you're working, right? You work here. And I'm like, I know that, but that's not the point. I don't want to just have money to pay for what I need and then not have money to spend elsewhere. That's dumb. So now if I have a kid, I gotta bring more into this? No. I'm not there yet. But the reason I bring all that up is because that's what you're told. Between 25 and 28, 29, you're told, hey, you should have a family, you should have this, you should have that. But you should have things when you're ready. Stop listening to other people. Stop thinking that, you gotta have, this car, you gotta have this house, you gotta have this wife, this kid. No. Those are foundational qualities, yes, but they're not mandatory to be happy, to live a happy life. They're not mandatory. And I feel like people need to understand that. Like, stop pressuring other people who don't have what you have to do anything. No. Can you imagine if I had a kid? What would I do with a kid in this car? Look at this car. This car is like, it doesn't even work. It doesn't even work. Like, I have to fix my story. So if anybody knows how to do that, inbox me. But either way, I mean, not inbox. You know what I'm saying? Comment. But anyway, my point is, like, why would I bring a child into this world if I can't even fix my car yet? Why would I bring a child in this world when I don't even have my own place anymore? I did, but I lost it after COVID. I feel like that's a story everybody has. But the whole idea of 25 to 29, you should have a family. It's like, should I? If I'm able to, yeah, but I'm not like going for it because what if I want to live my life? What if somebody who's 26 wants to live the entrepreneurial life? They're not going to have time for their kids or their family the way that they would or should. What if a guy is, and we'll get to this age, what if he's 31 and has all the time in the world to have kids, but he can't? People don't think about this. But now we get to the ages of 30. That's a scary age. That is a scary age for some people. 30 years old. I'll be that next year. That is fucking crazy. That is fucking crazy. I'm going to be 30 next year. Can I say safely that I've done everything I needed to do in my life? Hell no. Fuck no. Fuck no. But you know what? I keep going. Because no matter what, I don't quit. And I've had people tell me to quit. I've had people tell me to, relax. And when I said relax, I don't mean like kick your feet up. I'm talking like relax, like stop, stop what you're doing. I've had people tell me that I'm not going to be successful. I've had people tell me a lot of shit. Just a lot of dumb shit. But yet, I'm still here. I'm still here, and I'm still doing what I gotta do. And at the end of the day, like, fuck what they say. Seriously. Fuck what they say. Like, who gives a shit? And I'm at that age now, honestly, where I don't care what people say. I really don't. As a matter of fact, I laugh at most shit now because it's like, y'all are hilarious trying to get me to think like, yo, I'm not no sheep. The fucking wolf. What the fuck? Like, no. But that's my mentality. That's all up here. But that took years to build though. Like if we're being real, that shit took years to build. I was like 24 when I started thinking like that. When it was like, yo, you can't just live off other people's dreams, other people's lives. You gotta live your own. You're gonna be stuck. You're not gonna have any freedom up here. You're gonna be stuck in a cage, a mental cage, and just not doing what you gotta do. Some people don't understand that. Some people can't grasp that mentality of let me think for myself. No, let me follow this person. Let me do that. Celebrities, same thing. Like, people want to follow celebrities so bad, but you don't live the life they live. You don't live that life. Like you can't go out there and try to buy all these designer outfits and watches and jewelry and shit, but you can't even take care of your own family. Like, what the fuck you doing, man? Why you out here buying $20 bags for your wife, but your kids are starving? Why you out here trying to buy this Tesla Cybertruck that looks like a fucking garbage can, but you can't afford to take your kid or child to daycare? What the fuck is that about? Like, just simple shit. Dumb shit people do all the time because of the pressures of life. And that's just not real, man. Think for yourself. Live for you. That's my message out there. Live for you. Don't live for somebody else because they're not living your life. They're not. They never will. You live yours. You live your purpose. Alright? Seriously, that shit, I hate when people do that shit. Where it's like, I've seen it though. That's the part that pissed me off. I see that shit. I see that shit. I'm sorry, yo, it's hot. But, like, I see that shit where it's like, yo, people really try to live other people's lives. And it's like, it don't work. That shit don't work, man. It don't fucking work. Like, I, perfect example. I got a friend. Again, not gonna say their name. I got a friend, right? He, okay, I'll give his age. He's 33 now, but at the time this happened, he was like, he just turned 30. He was trying to buy a house, right? I'm not gonna say where. He tried to buy a house, right? And the owner told him, the owner told him, you have it, here's information, here's the down payment information, everything, right? He had everything lined up. You know what this dude did, this fool did? He went and gambled his money. Why? Because he read somewhere that um, some famous person made a bet. It wasn't Drake. All right. I know Drake's been making headlines lately, but it wasn't Drake. But the point is, he saw somewhere that somebody made a bet for like, I don't know how much it was, but he had at least a couple. Yeah, he had like easily 20, 30 grand that he bet on. He said the payout would have been like 200 something thousand. Now let me tell y'all folks something. Ain't no way in hell you been in that bet. Or you gambled though. You not been it. It's designed for you not to win that shit. Like they want you to do that shit. They want you to like waste your money, waste your time, all that shit. And he lost it. He lost all of it on a stupid gambling bet. So he went broke. Never heard from him after that. And I just remember thinking to myself, yo, I would never in my life fix myself to go do that. If you told me right now, boom, there's 50K in your account right now, what are you gonna do with it? Man, I'm investing. I'm buying something affordable on both ends, in both a car and a place, and I'm setting money aside. Like, I'm not gonna just go blow that shit at the fucking casino or FanDuel or whatever. Like, and shout out to FanDuel because like y'all are great, but I need my money. But no, for real, like all these sports books and shit, I'm not doing it. Now, once I got everything settled, I may put a couple hundred in there just for fun, but that's my money right there, and that's my gambling money. I'm not touching anything else. But I handle my responsibilities first. I see a lot of people don't do that shit. A lot of people see money and go, all right, I gotta go get this, I gotta go do that. They waste it. Like, think about it. For anybody who listens out there, right? Seriously, anybody who's listened or who will listen to this thing, like, if I gave you 50 grand right now, what would you do? Seriously, what would you do with it? If you have a family, what would you do for your family? If you don't have a family and you're by yourself, what would you do with that money? Because I can tell you right now, if I lined up 10 people and asked that same question, you'll get 10 different answers. You'll get 10 different answers of how that money would be handled. And guess what? That's why it's important to think for yourself. Otherwise, we'd all be robots, right? But my whole point is, like, and I know this conversation started off at, you know, adjustments to life at each age, but like, this is a life lesson. This is a life lesson video. And I'm speaking to everybody, whoever, whatever age you're at. Whether you're 18, whether you're 30, whether you're 31, doesn't matter. Live your purpose. Don't listen to anybody else if they're not living your life. Why would you do that? There's a cat. Sorry, y'all. There's a cat. I love cats, by the way. Is it over here? Um, oh, look, hold on. I don't know if y'all can see it. Can y'all see it? It's literally behind, like, you see the sign right there? It's right there. There's a cat right there. No? Anyway. But yeah, yo, just, like I said, stop worrying about other people, man. Like, live you. Do you. Alright. There's so much life out here, man. There's so much you can do. And look, honestly, and this is for all my God, this is for all the fellas out there. You single, man, live your fucking life before you get, you know what I'm saying, caught up. I'm dead serious. Like, live your life, man. Stop worrying about chasing these girls, man. They don't, listen, man, let me tell you something. Half of these girls would run you out your pockets quick. They just would. They would. And not give a single fuck. They wouldn't care. And the same thing with men. Men will do it too. But my whole point is just live you, man. Live your life. I'm so serious. Like, honestly, I can't tell you how many times I've seen people, whether it's on social media or actually in person. In person is crazy too, because like you actually see that shit and you're like, yo, that shit really happened? Are you really doing this? Like, you really out here doing this? I remember I had to talk to my friend one time. Well, I say he's my friend, but I'm gonna just say, I remember like he would always he had a daughter at the time. He still does, but like he had a daughter, like when she was like 2, and this dude is outside, like on the corner. I'm like, bro, what you doing? He's like, yo, man, I'm trying to get, so I'm trying to get money so I can feed my kid. I'm like, yo, nigga, you have a job. You have a whole job. What are you doing? He goes, yeah, man, but that job ain't paying me enough. Like, I gotta do this, do that. I'm like, bro, okay. I'm like, bro, please go inside, bro. Like, your daughter is waiting for you, bro. I just seen her. She's like crying inside. I had to tell her you went to the store. Like, you know. But anyway, the whole point is, you're responsible, right? I don't know where I was going with that point, but with that story. But the point is, just live you, man. Live you. Don't worry about other people. Don't worry about other people's bullshit. People are gonna try to put things on you that are for them. They're gonna do it all the time, every day of the week. Don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. So, all right, y'all. That's all I got. Hope you guys enjoyed this. For those of you who stayed on, wasn't everything anybody did. That's okay. The message is still out there. Um, Gaming with Aiden, Bronny or LeBron. I don't know what you meant by that, so I'm just gonna assume who's better. It's obviously LeBron because he's older and he's obviously a polished NBA player and he's one of the greatest ever. So I'm not gonna get into that debate, but yeah, LeBron's definitely better. Bronny has potential, but he needs to learn the game, and I think right now he's doing too much, trying to do too much too soon. I think his stats, um, notwithstanding, I think he's played okay in terms of just playing the game. Defensively, he's obviously miles ahead of where he could be, but yeah, he needs time in the G League, and I think he knows that. I don't think for anybody out there, and this is a quick spin off. Anybody out there who really thought Bronny was gonna like step into the Lakers lineup and play was crazy. Like, let's not kid ourselves here. That dude needs at least a year or two in the G League to learn the game. Obviously, he'll play with the Lakers, practice. He'll probably practice with them at some point. Because, that's LeBron's kid. But, at the end of the day, LeBron isn't going to pull any favors. LeBron's not going to go, yo, Bronny, like, you should definitely start. No. Because, first off, what would LeBron look like if his son was out there making mistakes, which he's going to do, and chucking the threes, and he ain't making them, and doing all this other shit, and the team loses? Now what? Now LeBron's going to have to hear about that. And not only is he going to have to hear about it, he's going to have to treat his son like a teammate. And on top of that, still tell him, yo, you still fucked up. And that's your son. So it's like, no, he don't want that. So yeah, I think he's just going to say, look, stay in the G League, do what you got to do, and we'll see you when I see you. That's it. Ain't nothing wrong with that. People act like the G League is like some. It's not the NBA. I mean, it's not the the starting lineup, not the team, but you right there. Just hone your skills, man. So yeah, that's my answer to that question. Um, yeah. So yeah, that's it. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go. It's hot. Um, but I appreciate everybody who joined, who listened. Um, those of you who watched it when I did, if I fell off, and that's cool. The message wasn't for you, right? But everybody else who's still on or who stayed on, um, like I said, I hope you enjoy this when you watch it back. Hope you learned something from this. I'll actually do a better one because this one wasn't that good. But I'll do a better video about the lessons I learned growing up. But like I said, enjoy it out there, guys. Live free, live safe, but live with purpose. All right, and yeah. All right, y'all. That's it. That's all I got. Like I said, I'm about to go inside. It's hot. Make sure you smash like on the video, subscribe, hit the follow button, like, do everything. Follow me on TikTok as well. It's in the description. Share this video. And yeah, peace out, yo.